Gaming in 2023 is the year everyone tried to be Fortnite. Call of Duty, Overwatch, even Siege have just loaded their stores with crossovers from Cardi B to K-pop to fucking Goro from Yakuza. All of these games are trying to be Fortnite except for Fortnite because Fortnite's trying to be Roblox now. These games are starting to become unrecognizable from what they once were 5 years ago, and I've lost a lot of respect for all of these games, and I know a lot of other people have too. But Xbox, our savior, at the 11th hour swooped in and bought Activision Blizzard to restore these great games to their former glory. So did they? Nobody asked for this. Nobody wanted this. You guys even said you wanted to take a break after MW2 and really develop a quality game. So why then, Activision?
That's right, folks. Longtime owner Mr. Krabs is opening a new restaurant called the Krusty Krab 2. What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
Money!
I have not seen one person that is excited for MW3. This game launched with the same modes as MW2, the same maps as MW2, the same weapons as MW2. It's basically MW 2.5. They're doing a sequel to Outbreak from Cold War. I've been a part of the zombies community, specifically the Guild of Lexify, for a long time, and I'm telling you, literally no one wanted Outbreak 2 and Modern Warfare 3. Who does this game appeal to? Babies. When I pre-ordered MW2, I got the $100 Vault Edition, paid for it, and then I logged in day one, and it said I didn't own it. I'm fucking done with Call of Duty. I'm not buying any more of these cash grab pieces of shit. I'm glad a lot of people won't be either. Speaking of piece of shit games, Halo Infinite. I played this game when it came out, said nah. Played it again 6 months later, said nah again. Played it last month, and I gotta tell you guys, Halo is back, baby. All new playlists, all new game modes, and my favorite, of course, is the Slayer playlist. There's some crazy shit in this playlist. One of the game modes is like Team Gun Game. Another one of the game modes is where you all have grapplers and needlers, and it's low gravity. And another one makes you super small but super fast, and everyone just turns into fucking Speedy Gonzalez with a battle rifle. This is how the game should have released, and it's a shame because I know a lot of people aren't gonna go back to it after all this time. If 2023 isn't the year of every game being Fortnite, then it's 100% the year of fighting games, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Both got entries this year with Tekken 8 on the way early next year. Street Fighter 6 was my first Street Fighter since Street Fighter 4. I played way more Street Fighter 4 than Mortal Kombat, and I gotta say, this game fucking pisses me off. The story mode is pretty fun. I spent my whole time just beating the shit out of every NPC. No pedestrian was safe. I'd be out here level 30 and I'd still be taking the time out of my day to stop and beat the shit out of a level 3. I was talking to Roger and he was like level 20 and a decent way into the story, struggling, having a hard time, and he couldn't figure out how I was level 30 and 3 missions into the story. Where I didn't have fun was the battle hub. I'd always choose to fight somebody with the most basic looking clothing, looking like a new player, and they would always be rank 1, top of the list in the country as a fucking Ken main, and I'd get my ass kicked. I'd be like, okay, I gotta go practice for a couple hours, come back, and still another Ken would kick my ass.
I didn't even mean to do that. Nope, leaving the game. How do I disconnect? How do I leave?
I've always been more of a Mortal Kombat kid. Unlike Street Fighter where I'd hop on for a match, get pissed, then hop off, I can play Mortal Kombat for hours. The combos always just made a little bit more sense to me. Mortal Kombat 1 is pretty good. They even did a pretty good job of balancing almost all the characters. Almost. The game was marketed as a soft reboot, which gave them so much more opportunity to write new stories with classic characters, and they did that for the first 2/3 of the story until plot twist nut tap. Turns out it was a sequel in the worst plot twist of all time. We had a simple character-based story, and in the end, it turned into some fucking Avengers Endgame shit with different Spider-Verses and Shang Tsung from a different universe fucking teaming up with a bunch of other Shang Tsungs to fight a bunch of Liu Kangs. Johnny Cage and Kenshi have this sweet bromance, with them becoming friends over time. Katana and Mileena struggle with the loss of their father, Sindel with losing her husband and running all of Outworlds, Li Mei being blamed for the death of the king, growing tensions with Outworlds and Earthrealm causing the Lin Kuei to be fractured, only for it to fucking end in some multiversal bullshit that hinges on MK11's DLC. None of this adds up to that, it just kinda came from out of nowhere. I don't know, it's a fucking fighting game, who gives a shit? Both of these games are good in their own right, but I'm most excited for Tekken 8, aka The Return of Lucky Chloe. Nintendo's two big releases this year were Pikmin 4 and Mario Wonder. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I didn't play Pikmin 4, but I did play Mario Wonder. Mario is the king of 3D platformers. He has been for a long time. But before that, he was the king of 2D platformers. Mario 3, Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, classic games. But the last 20 years of Mario, he kind of fell off. It started with Mario DS, and then for there, the next 17 years, they released the exact same game 5 different times. Each one of these games does something a little bit different than the last, with gimmicks like there's coins everywhere, or Luigi's the main character in this one. Sure, these gimmicks are cool for about the first 2 levels, but other than that, they were the same damn game. Celeste, Super Meat Boy, Rayman, even Donkey Kong was out here destroying Mario's ass. I always loved this IGN review on the Wii U version of this game. Retro, yet refreshing. Even though this is like the 5th one. So Mario Wonder, so what about it? Well, let me tell you, Mario Wonder is one good. Every level is so different and unique, new enemies, new areas, same Goombas, but it's okay because they sleep now, and just like the Goombas, you guys are fucking sleeping on this game. Not only is every level unique, but every level can play completely differently with the Wonder Flower, which is basically, as my girlfriend labeled it, Mario LSD. The new art style doesn't really make a difference at first, but it's the little things, like all these little effects that come out when Mario boinks his head and little stars come out, or when Mario ground pounds, there's a drum and it goes boom, boom. There's challenge levels where deaths don't matter, timed levels, even the water levels are fucking really good. The only thing that takes a hit in this game is the multiplayer. In all of these games you could jump, bounce, and throw your friends around, and there was a level of interactivity in these that just made it feel like you were working together. You can't interact in the same way in Mario Wonder with your friends. At times it can feel like more of a hindrance playing with other people than anything. Other than that, you can tell there's so much love and passion that the devs put into this game. It just builds up from level to level. You know what game feels like it has no passion? Starfield. It feels like a fucking AI made this game. Every time I tried to make a video on this game, I just want to fucking die. Originally I was going to make a comparison video between Starfield and Outer Worlds, then I played the game and realized Outer Worlds blows Starfield out of the water. Then I was going to make a video on how Starfield and Outer Worlds are both mediocre role-playing games, but Starfield's honestly more of an ass one. I'm honestly at a standstill with this game. The open world exploration is boring, the characters aren't written well, there's technically 5 main stories, 2 of which are interesting, the world building sucks. Even the side quests, which are Bethesda's bread and butter, there's only like 1 that I found engaging. The essential NPC problem is at its worst in this game. If they have lines of dialogue, you cannot kill them. In a game marketed around freedom to explore space, you have no freedom. I spent the first 20 hours playing this game, going from planet to planet exploring, and now that I've played this game for 75 hours, I'm still searching planets trying to find the fun in Starfield. I played Yakuza for the first time this year, and this is one of the greatest games ever made. I have so much I want to say about this game. The story is so dramatic and serious. The characters are like they're straight out of a soap opera. Kiryu is fighting for his life to defend his master's honor, isolating himself to do so. Goro wants to free himself from the torture he's endured, contemplating whether taking a life is worth freeing himself. The story is so deep and it's so dark. It's so human. And then on the other side of the game, you just have the wackiest, goofiest shit. Kiryu is the most wanted man in the city from the Yakuza and the police, so what does he do? I'm in here racing RC cars, bro. bowling, baseball, betting on catfights, helping a dominatrix become more dominant, becoming a TV show producer, pretending to be somebody's girlfriend on a date, running your own cabaret club, being a real estate owner. This may seem like it would be a detriment to the main story that takes itself so seriously, but it's perfect in every single way. Combine this with stellar beat-em-up combat, and this gets Bathtub Gaming's Golden Bathtub of 2023 award. This is a great game, and I can't wait to play more of these games, no matter how dumb the naming scheme becomes. Suicide Squad got pushed back a whole year, and at this point, I hope it never comes out. What I understand, the game is basically Marvel's Avengers mixed with Destiny, but unlike Marvel's Avengers, where every character had different abilities and was different to control, all the characters are very similar, and there isn't a ton of difference in gameplay. So, it doesn't sound fun at all. And then the customization system is exactly the same as Destiny's, and it just seems so grindy and not fun. I don't want to play this game. Party Animals! It's like Gang Beasts, but better. There's two types of game modes, ball game modes and beat up your friends mode. Beat up your friends mode is better. Your goal is to throw other animals out of the map. But what the difference is between this and Gang Beasts, well, Gang Beasts doesn't have nunchucks, an ice gun, or a shovel. You wouldn't think items in Gang Beasts would make much of a difference, but combined with more refined controls and maps, it adds so much variety to the game. Also, you don't even have to throw out your enemy, you can just kill them by beating them over the head with a shovel. Or do it to your friend Robbie if you have one. They fixed one of Gang Beast's problems too. They revolutionized death, making it so instead of sitting bored watching other people play the game till the next round starts, you can now interact by throwing items like coins and bananas and bombs that can really turn the tide of the match. It's fun. Horror games, gotta love them. I released my Why Resident Evil 3 video this year and it blew up and I got a lot of subscribers. To the 17 of you that are still here, thank you. The great Resident Evil 4 came out and it was pretty good. It was a damn good game with great DLC and it was pretty faithful remake to the original. Trust me when I say that. I learned my lesson. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This was supposed to be the Dead by Daylight killer. It lasted about a month. This was a really fun game if you can find a match. This is the spiritual successor to Friday the 13th game that got strucken down by lawsuits or whatever. And while some of the changes are good, a lot of them aren't good. No one ever wants to play as Bubba, but you have to have a Bubba to start a match, so a lot of the time you'll just sit on the match screen for 10 minutes until one of the killers caves and switches. Playing Survivor, it's a lottery whether or not I'm going to get the character that I've been leveling up, or I'll just be stuck at a severe disadvantage with a character I haven't put any points into. This game is finally getting DLC, but I doubt that the cook's wife will be enough to save it. But I can't wait for the Silent Hill 2 remake. My only familiarity with this franchise is the trailer where James says, "Mary?" And then a giant fart happens.
Mary?
It's everybody's favorite time, game of the year. Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna win, no contest. Where's Fallout New Vegas 2? Have a good night, everybody.